So this is trying to identify um, aspects of love that you saw in the current reading. The one thing that just kind of flashed in my head was the whole piece. You know, Benita's been talking the last few days about the whole section in the book where he talks about um, falling in love with Paris. And, but that, you know,
Somebody has to take Avery.
it was also loving himself. Um, Loving himself enough to allow himself to grow into an experience that was fearful to him, and then loving his son enough to wanting him to have um, that kind of exposure.
Thank you for your thoughts. Dean, can I have your closing thoughts, please, if you have any?
Yeah, like my mom was saying about France. Uh, he was talking about how he enjoyed his time there, and really wanted his son to have a happiness like the French people he witnessed. He noticed that when he went to France, that nobody was under the specter of fear as he had known his entire life, and he
Right.
kind of wanted that for his family, but he also didn't want his son to be naive in the fact that a lot of things that happened in France were built on the backs of black people as well. So he wants his son to stay educated that no matter where you are, that the specter of danger, of victimization, can still fall upon you. So he wants them to be prepared with his new world, an increased world view, and a love for the world, while being aware that uh, danger is in places that you don't even see it. So he wants them to be ready, armed with information, conscious about the things that are happening
But
globally.
also open to the
Right,
possibility of difference.
right, and also, yeah, also the possibility of difference. And he wants them to enjoy his life, and don't let somebody dim your sunshine just because they don't like you or whatever.
Right.
That's
Mhm.
not a reason. All right.
Thank you, Dean.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciated reading when I was reading his time he spent in Paris, um, sitting in the outdoor cafes and enjoying all the scenery. And I'm sure it's absolutely beautiful. I've never had the pleasure of going to Paris, but since we've talked about it so much, I think that maybe me and Michelle need to put it on our bucket list of things to do before we leave here. But I did find it very interesting that because we're so many times paralyzed with fear, and he was, uh, which was apparent when he met his friend to practice his English, and his friend practice his French, and his friend wanted to practice English. That he thought that because he grew up in Baltimore, everybody wanted something. You always
Right.
try to protect your body from being plundered,
Mm-hmm.
whether it was at home,
Or abroad.
on the street, or anywhere else. That
Right.
just a person simply being kind, not expecting anything, he carried that fear with him so much that he still, in a whole different country, in a whole different setting, had
Right.
that fear with him, which caused him to miss out on the full experience of being in Paris.
Right.
So that's something that I think he was important. It was very important that he was trying to convey to his son. You don't want a fear to paralyze you. You want to live in consciousness. Be aware of your surroundings. Study your surroundings. But you still want to be able to be open enough to let new things in, new experiences. And yes, there are some folks out there, and I still have a belief that for the most part, many people want to do the right thing. There are good people out there. No matter what's around me, I know that there is. And you have to leave yourself still open to be able to bring in those good things. And that's how we learn. That's how we grow. So that's my final thought.
But I don't think that just because, well, sometimes there's people out there who want to do the right thing, and sometimes there are people out there who want to con you by making you think they want to do the right thing.
Well, that comes down to awareness.
I think that you need to be cognizant of who you're dealing with at all times, so that you can tell the difference in these people. So I don't think there's anything wrong with him bringing his Baltimore ways to a new area, as long as it doesn't paralyze him from people who are actually kind to him. Because there are hustlers in the world, and no matter where you go, you will find that there are hustlers everywhere.
Yeah.
So you have to bring a street smarts with you everywhere.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's very difficult to be open to new experiences when you know that there are hustlers everywhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's difficult. And some people are naive and they count on that. They count on your naivety.
That's a nice segue for what I was sitting here thinking about, which is I'm back on the scene in the beginning of the man being put out on the street, and thinking about the love I felt from Ta-Nehisi in the compassion that he had for black people who had been plundered in this way. And I think along the lines of what Dean is saying about bad people being everywhere. Again, the more that we can be unified, the more that we can love each other, the more we can overcome some of these vulnerabilities. Like I'm thinking about, your real estate experience. But, we have people, the black community has people at this point that are skilled in everything.
That's right.
But we've got to care enough about each other to want to share that knowledge with each other, and to help protect us from some of these things that have been used to take advantage of us.
Right.
So, I'm also thinking about, I posted something recently. It's called The Nod. It was an article about the nod, and it's talking about that feeling that a black person, or the practice that black people have when they're anywhere in the world and they're surrounded predominantly by white people, but you see another black person in that environment and you're not. And that's this comfort level that we have. Thank God.
Thank God.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Michelle, for your closing comments. And Dean, thank you very much for your closing comments. As usual, it's been a pleasure.